Hello everyone, this is the third time I've tried to film this video. This is Jim Hitt. I want to welcome you to the Jim Hitt Show, and I'm your host, Jim Hitt. Um, it's been about a month and a half, almost 2 months, since I've uploaded a video. And, of course, we just got back from our vacation, beginning of January, from going and seeing my family in Florida and friends in Florida and everything. And when we got back, the bottom just dropped out on everything. First, I got real sick. I got pneumonia and had to go to the doctor. They almost admitted me into the hospital. And then I got the flu. Had to go back to the doctor, and they wanted to admit me again. But I'm like, no, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die in my own bed. And then my grandfather passed away. My granddaddy. On my dad's side. Oh, granddaddy. We knew when we went to Florida that was likely going to be the last time that I ever got to see him. And it was. But the hardest part for me was not being there seeing Granddaddy's last moments, because I got to see him when he was still coherent and knew who I was. He went very fast, with just a matter of days. My biggest regret in life up till then was not spending more time with my other grandfather before he passed away. And now another big regret in my life was not being there for my family, for my dad, for my sisters, and my mom going through this hard time. I mean, he was 99 years old. He lived an amazing life. I mean, he was part of a generation so great, they actually call it the greatest generation. All the hardships they went through the Great Depression, World War II, recovering from World War II, and this and that. Of course, the greatest generation ever. And perfectly named. I mean, the right name for him. And he was the epitome of the greatest generation. But very hard to lose him. And then, just a few days after, my wife's grandfather passed away, and that was tough. And then yesterday, a very good friend of mine, one of my best friends, his dad passed away, and so that's been rough on me, and I can't be there for him. And he's up in Detroit. Buddy, if you're seeing this, I love you. I wish I could be there for you, buddy. I'll just stay strong, bud. And I sure do love you. We have a friend here with us right now, Led. Name's Les. I call him Led. And this is him there. And we're helping take care of him right now, because for a week or so, he just had open brain surgery. He has seizures, and he had one today. And so I've dealt with his seizures before, and no big deal. It's just I wish this surgery would have taken them all away and just been magic, but sometimes life just happens. And so, gosh, I gotta think about what else has happened. I got sick, all the deaths in our family, and friends, and also this month marks almost 17 years ago. One of my best friends, Daniel, he passed away when we were 16. I don't think that's 17 years ago or not. But, and that's tough, because, I mean, he committed suicide, and that's very hard. And so, it's been a long time. And I never want dates like that just to become a date on the calendar. Always want to remember them. But anyways, so on a good note, like I said, everything kind of just the bottom dropped out. Um, Yesterday we went to Watertown, and Brittany, my wife, she had a interview, and I think that went pretty well. We're waiting to hear back. And I went and got some medical supplies for myself from the medical store. We did some grocery shopping. Uh, Went to Hobby Lobby. I call it Hobby Hollies because my mom called it Hobby Hollies for the first year that it was opened, and so we call it Hobby Hollies. Um, we went to the Walmart and somewhere else, so we went out to eat, and just sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, after this surgery, I'm not going to be able to go out to eat and eat a full meal. I'm like, man, that's going to stink going to a restaurant. And then I sit there and think about that. That's going to be great, not being able to eat a lot. I'm not going to want to eat a lot all the time. Cannot wait. But a week from yesterday, I go, on the 21st, I go down to Sioux Falls for my first appointment / seminar for gastric bypass surgery. And excited to go down there and get the first step out of the way. Learn more about it. I have to pick a surgeon, and there's several surgeons to pick from, and I've never met any of these doctors, any surgeons, and so I have to make a choice right then on who I want to be working on me. Who would you like to cut you open? And so my best friend Les just raised his hand and said, Me. Excuse you. But man, I think I've narrowed it down to what I want in a doctor. I want the doctor with the most experience and the doctor who has worked on the biggest person. And so I want him to have that knowledge. Of course, all the surgeons have really good knowledge, but I want the best of the best of the best. A few years ago, I went and saw a surgeon looking into gastric bypass, and this doctor told me, oh, he wrote the book on the new surgery and gastric bypass surgery. He did this and that and that, and he's done it to celebrities and all this, and I mean, just putting his nose up like he was somebody, and I couldn't help but ask him. And I mean, he really thought highly of himself. He was from California and wrote a book on it. I said, then what are you doing in South Dakota? And so I was very uncomfortable with it. I was like, are you hiding from something? But that's nor here nor there. He actually since has gone back to California, and I'm like, well, I'm okay with that. And so, excuse me, still trying to get over this pneumonia. Pneumonia's gone, but coughing junk up out of my lungs is going to be a 2-month deal. But anyway, so we're still looking for an apartment, and we have it narrowed down to a few, and that's tough. And we're going to have a roommate. One of the girls that Brittany works with is also moving to Watertown, and so she will bunk with us while we're down there, and that'll help on some bills and whatnot. But looked into my parents coming up for the surgery, and I know it's a ways away, but really want somebody in my family to come up and and kind of stay with me and help me through this process and when I go in for surgery and for the first week or so after surgery, because my wife can't take off for a week and nurse me back to health, and so she's going to have to continue to work, and I'm not going to want to be left alone at the house fresh out of surgery. And so maybe it'll be just fine, but I'm not about to take that chance. And so I think possibly my dad's going to come up and kind of nurse me back to health, and I'm really excited about that because that'll give my dad and I some really great time just to bond even more. I mean, we've had 33 and a half years to bond, but man, just some alone time with my dad, just him and I. Didn't really get a lot of that going on when I was a kid because there was three of us and mom, and so it'd be great just to spend some quality time with my dad. I sure do love him. But the other reason I'm going to bounce back to something else now. The other reason why we are moving to Watertown is where we live now is almost 3 hours away from Sioux Falls. And that's where all my doctor visits will be for surgery. That's where the actual surgery will take place. And so when it gets down to it, I'm going to be having to go to Sioux Falls every 2 weeks and then get down to the nitty gritty every week. And that's a 3 hour drive I can't afford to make every week. And I mean, just being in the car that long all the time is just going to kill me. I mean, just going to Watertown yesterday, it's an hour and 15 minutes away. It took a toll on me, and I'm having to recover from that yesterday. And we drove home in I call it a semi-blizzard. It was just blowing snow. But our car was sliding back and forth on the road, and we really shouldn't have gone yesterday. But Brittany had the interview, and so we had to. But thankfully, we got that out of the way. And so now you know why we just really need to move closer to Sioux Falls. So we'll be in Watertown because there's a really great church there, really great Baptist church there that we will attend, and we're attending now. So when we can on Wednesdays and Sundays, we drive all the way from where we are living now to go to church on Wednesdays and Sundays when we can. And so Brittany's going down with me on Wednesday. My mother does not want me traveling by myself for 3 hour drive there and back. And I understand that because the way my health is, I don't need to be driving alone like that. Something happens, it could be disastrous. But so you're kind of caught up now. I shaved my face. I don't know if you tell that or not, but I scraped my face off. Well, the hair, anyways. Thanks. And so, got a haircut and looking halfway decent. So anyways, I love you. Jesus loves you. And we will talk to you later.